Chapter 4.1, Day 2, Graphing Polynomial Functions. So we are going to discuss the end behavior. The end behavior of a function's graph is the behavior of the graph as x approaches to positive infinity or negative infinity. For the graph of a polynomial function, the end behavior is determined by the function's degree and the sign of its leading coefficients. Core concept and behavior of polynomial functions. So first we are going to use the odd function, or we can use any odd function. So for example, we are going to use x to the power 3 function. So we're going to use f of x function equals 3x to the power 3. I mean, the leading coefficient can be anything. So the leading coefficient, which is this one, it can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or any number. But it depends if it's a positive or a negative. So the leading coefficient, which is 3, is positive number. So what we have here is the function f of x equals 3x cubed. Function means y value. And the leading coefficient is positive. So the graph of the function of x cubed, if its a leading coefficient is positive, rise from left to right. So what is happening on the left side? So left side is going this way. So x, which is this side. If you increase this string or this graph line, is going to the left forever or is going down forever. If x approaching to negative infinity, this side, which is the left side, so if x approaches to left side forever, the y or the fx is approaching to negative infinity or down forever. Now, what is the point if I want to see the point for this arrow? Is going to left forever and is going to down forever. So x is also approaching to negative infinity, means it's going to left forever. Y is approaching to negative infinity, means it's going down forever. Now, if you look at the right side of the graph, this is going to the right side for x value. So x is approaching to positive infinity. And it's going also up and up and up. It means y is approaching to positive infinity. You know that the fx is the same as y. So this arrow is actually approaching to infinity, comma, infinity. From x side is approaching to infinity, and from the y side is approaching to infinity as well. Leading coefficient is positive. Just keep in mind the graph direction should be rising from left to right. So the left side, starting from left side, it should rise. And on the right side, if x approaches to positive infinity, because this part of the graph is going right and up forever. So right means x approaches to infinity and up means y approaches to infinity. So as x is approaching to positive infinity, y is going up and up and up. For the next function, if you take fx equals negative 2x to the power of 3 or 5, the degree is still odd. But if you pay attention on the number in the front of degree, or the leading coefficient is negative. So the leading coefficient is negative. So it means the graph should fall from left to right. The graph of this function looks like from the left side is going to fall. And as x approaches to positive infinity, let's start with x approaches to negative infinity. So this side of the graph, y is going up and up and up. So y is approaching to positive infinity. So it's going up when x is going to the left. When x approaches to positive infinity, means x is going to the right side, y is going down. So y is approaching to negative infinity. If you talk about the points, so x is positive infinity here because it's the right side of the graph, and y is going down, so y is negative. For this arrow, x is negative because on the left side x is negative, and y is approaching to positive infinity. For next example that I'm going to take is like 3x to the power of 4. If it is x to the power 4, which is an even degree, so it's even degree, and the leading coefficient for this one is positive. It's a U-shaped graph, so this time it's going to be a U shape. If it is a U shape, you're going to see if it's going to face up or down. Since it's a 4th degree and the leading coefficient is positive, so it's going to face up. So this is a type of graph that is going to face up. It means both the end strings are going to face up. Now it doesn't matter if x is going to approach to the left side, which means this side, y is always approaching to the positive infinity. So the y is approaching to positive infinity. If x is going on the right side, fx again approaching to the positive infinity. The next example is when the function fx equals negative 4x squared or something like that, where the leading coefficient is negative and the degree is even. So this means this is going to face down, U-shaped graph going to face down. Any function, any U function that is going to face down, it means the both strings are going to face downward. X approaches to negative infinity. So in this direction where the x is going to negative infinity, y is going to go to negative infinity. If x approaches to positive infinity, which is this side, y is still going to approach to negative infinity. Because you can see that both ends are facing down. It means it's going down on both sides. Down means y approaches to negative infinity. So next we are going to do example number 3. We are going to describe the end behavior, and to see this polynomial fx equals negative 0.5 x squared x to the 4 plus 2.4 x to the 2 plus x minus 1. So the degree is the highest exponent in this polynomial. So the highest exponent is 4. So degree is going to be 4. And that's even. Leading coefficient for this one is negative 0.5, and that's negative. It means this is going to be a U or W-shaped graph. So if it is a W or U-shaped graph, we have to determine the direction it's going to face down. So these are the type of graphs that you are looking at. Both of them for y value are going to negative infinity. So fx is approaching to negative infinity from the left side. X approaches to positive infinity. Fx is approaching to negative infinity from right side as well. So it doesn't matter where x approaching, y or the fx is approaching to negative infinity because it's going down from both the ends. Next is example number 1. The degree of this function is odd and is 3, so it's odd. The leading coefficient is 0.25 and is positive. It's going to be S-shaped graph. This graph is rising from left to right. So from the left string is going to rise on the right side. When x is approaching to negative infinity, means on the left side the y is going down. On the right side, when x is approaching to positive infinity, y is going up and up and up, which means y is approaching to positive infinity. Next is number 2. The degree of the function is 3 and is going to be odd. The leading coefficient is -7, that's negative. Is going to be a S shape that is going to fall from left to right. So that's going to be, when x approaches to negative infinity, means this side y is approaching to infinity. So y is going to approaching to infinity. When x approaches to positive infinity, means the right side fx is approaching to negative infinity. Next is number 3. Degree is 2 and is even. Leading coefficient is 1 and is positive. Is going to face up. So it doesn't matter where the x approaches, negative or positive side. Both the strings for y is approaching to positive infinity. But you can see that both strings are going up and up and up forever. So y is approaching to infinity.